This week we begin the book of Devarim. And the book of Devarim, virtually the entire book, is the last few days in the life of Moshe and his final communication with his beloved Jewish people. Included in this communication are many laws and also building up the people, but included is also criticism for the purpose of straightening them out and paving the way for a better future. Included in the criticism in this week's portion is the spy incident, which of course we know ended tragically. But there's something that is bothersome about Moshe's criticism. It seems that Moshe's criticism is not just the result of what happened, but for the fact that they were criticized by Moshe even for asking to send spies into the land of Israel. And many commentaries ask the question, what's wrong with asking? You're supposed to do what's called hishtadlus. You're supposed to take normal precautions. You're not supposed to rely on miracles. God says we're supposed to go in, conquer the land. Okay, great. Okay, how do I do it exactly? Which part of the country do I come into? Where are there strongholds? Where are there weaker areas? I've got to know how to do it. So there's nothing wrong with asking. And the Rabbi Yerucham Levavitz says, indeed, there was nothing wrong with the question itself. What was wrong was the way the question was asked. And Rashi explains they came be'erbuvia. They came with a kind of tumult, a kind of turmoil. People were pushing, people were crowding and presenting this question. In fact, Rashi explains that old people were pushing the young people were pushing the old people. There was a total lack of decorum. What's wrong with a lack of decorum? Says Rabbi Yerucham, a lack of decorum and being disheveled in the presentation indicates a lack of faith in God. Because if they had faith in God, they would have asked the question with a feeling of equilibrium. What are we supposed to do? How exactly should we handle it? So this is a tremendous concept and an illuminating concept that really affects and impacts our own lives. Rabbi Yerucham explains that being disheveled and coming to present this question in a sense, in a state of turmoil, indicated a lack of trust and faith in God. That means that when we are in a state of turmoil, when we are disheveled, that indicates a lack of trust in God. So this is a very interesting way of constantly testing our spiritual barometer, our trust in God barometer. Whenever we deal, according to Rabbi Yerucham, then, whenever we face a situation, we face a challenge, if we keep ourselves together and we can hold on to our equilibrium, then fine, that's an indicator that we are trusting God. But as soon as we lose it, as soon as we lose our sense of balance, as soon as we lose our sense of personal equilibrium and are feeling disheveled, that is an indicator we've stepped out of bounds. That indicates a lack of faith and trust in God. So this actually is a great technique to remind us to put our faith and trust in God. When situations arise that shake us up, we are human. We're not angels. The Torah wasn't given to angels. But the more we can retain our sense of equilibrium, that is, the more trust in God that we are expressing. And the less equilibrium, as soon as we move out of equilibrium, we're displaying a lack of trust in God, which we certainly don't want. Have a beautiful Shabbos, and may Hashem help us to always keep our sense of balance.